So after 8 years of owning this 2014 Alpine, I just want to say that it's been a very good unit. It's had a few cosmetic issues on the outside and a few cosmetic issues on the inside, but they were minor in nature and fixed by me. The exterior, as you can see, after 8 years of use, has held up, I think, very good. The aluminum trim panels along the slide outs and such have done well. The only issue that I've had in the wheel well area is the plastic fenders, and with vibration and things like that, they will crack, and you can fix those by taking them completely off and roughen up the back side where the crack is, and put some two-part epoxy called plastic mend, and it'll take care of the crack, and then you can blend a little bit on the front side and touch it up with paint if you desire. I've had the exterior gate valve on. In fact, I forgot to put the cap back on after we got home and washed it out, but this is what I use for my cleaning my black tank and my gray tanks. The extra gate valve right here keeps you from getting that unwanted surprise when you take your sewer cap off and one of your tank check valves stuck a little bit and the line is full of black water or gray water. So if you have an external gate valve like this, and mine, as you can see, has a hose adapter, and hook the hose up there and back flush the tanks. It takes me about 10 minutes to back flush the black tanks and the gray tanks, and it works well. The OEM Suburban furnace has worked, or excuse me, not furnace, the water heater has worked flawlessly, both in electric and LP mode. And you can see by the double vent here, and we'll come in a little bit, I have the Suburban furnace in this unit, and I'm glad I do. I'm not fond of the Atwood furnaces at all. It's worked flawlessly. I've had no issues. Inside the water compartment, the only thing we've changed in 8 years is we've upgraded to the new 3-way brass valve, and works very well. Also, if you don't have one of these right angle nice adapters to hook your city water up to, you should get one of those, and don't buy the cheap Camco one. Go buy one that's 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, and your water volume and pressure will be a lot better. The gate valve handles, and we'll just pull one to show you. They all pull nice and easy. I lubricate these about every other time that I take the fifth wheel out, and I use PB Blaster, and they work quite well. I've not had 2 fingers to pull any one of those 3 is all that it takes on this 8-year-old Alpine. And the propane storage area, no issues in there. And my neighbor just always has to fire his riding lawnmower up when I want to do something out here, but that's how it goes. The front cap on the Alpine has held up well. The Alpine decal looks great, but the Alpine mountain decal, after 8 years, is starting to wrinkle up, and I'm probably going to remove that later this fall when I have cooler weather, and take that decal completely off, so that all you'll see on the front side of the cap is just the Alpine lettering. It's held up well. The passenger side of the Alpine have had no issues with it, and we're still using the original awning, and the only issue I've had with this awning, actually 2 issues. The rear rail from the factory, they attach it with short sheet metal screws, self-tapping, and they go into the Falon, and they're not hitting into any backing or anything, and so over time those screws will loosen, and one day you'll start to extend that slide out, and you'll see that rear rail separating, and there's an easy fix. I've got a file up on the Alpine group website, and shows you how to take those screws out, drill the hole out just slightly larger, and install a 1 1/16 inch tri-lock rivet. Do that for every screw on there. It's what should have been done at the factory. And if you look at the installation instructions for the awning on the rear rail, it tells you to use tri-lock rivets. But Keystone got a little slack in their haste to put the rail on, so they opted for the screws for quicker assemble. But and the only other issue I've had with this awning is on the back edge of the awning where it attaches to the rear rail. There is what's called a piece of awning rope that runs from end to end, and that's what holds the rear loop of the awning attached to the rear rail. And I had about a 8 to 10 inch area where the awning rope shrunk, I guess, and so that fabric started pulling, the loop started pulling out of the rear rail track. Easy fix on that. I've got a fix also on the group, shows you how to fix that. A little piece of aluminum rod in about 10 minutes of your time, and you can reattach that awning loop rear rail, or awning loop to the rear rail, and it'll never come out again. Or you can pull the whole awning off and replace the awning rope if that's what you wanted to do, but my fix will work just fine for you. And we're taking a quick look inside the hydraulic section. My batteries, I only have 2 on this since I don't have an inverter or a residential fridge. I'm running 2 GC2 6-volt batteries, original OEM hydraulic pump, and you can see I put a mark on it here sometime back, and with everything out, well, slides aren't out right now, but with the slides out it'll probably drop down to about that. With everything in, it'll be close to that full mark. And the only issue I've had with this hydraulic system was where these hydraulic lines come up from down below, and you'll have a whole bunch of them in here, you can see, and you notice a line that is not OEM, and you'll notice another line that's not OEM, and those 2 lines chafed against the metal edge where the battery comes up down below, and also we're chafing on the top edge of the battery case, and I didn't catch that, and so they rubbed a hole through the sheathing, and after a short period of time they started to leak. So we replaced those with 1/4 inch inside diameter, 9/16 outside, 1-wire hoses. Had those made at Napa with new JIC 37 fittings, and have had no other leaks or issues. And I've added a piece of pool noodle in there in between the batteries. And also, when I had the coroplast off, I pulled these lines up and got some more slack so that they actually come up more vertical against the wall, and they're not chafing against the battery. The level up system has worked great, and the hydraulic slide out system has worked fantastic. And the rest of this side of the fifth wheel, as you can see, I think it looks pretty good. This particular side of the fifth wheel gets the direct sun starting at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the summer temperatures here, we might see 100 to 110, and so it gets a pretty good blast of UV and heat during the summer when it's sitting here and we're not out on the road. But it's held up well. I've waxed it probably twice a year, and this year I put a coat of Meguiar's marine polish with a little bit of polishing compound in to bring back some of the luster, and we're going to do that one more time and let's see if we can't get back just a little bit more of the luster. But overall, the right hand side looks as good as the left, and getting your fender wells, the plastic, depending on the design of your Alpine, they're going to crack after a while. They vibrate a lot, and you can fix them. Just take them off and clean them up on the back side where the crack is, put some epoxy there, and get a little paint if you want, and spray paint it lightly and match the color as close as you can, and it'll look like new. And so wrapping up this portion of the exterior of the Alpine. It's held up good. I've taken care of it, I think, to the best of my ability. It doesn't go into RV repair shops. Nothing wrong with those. They do a good job sometimes. And sometimes you wait a long time to get a job done that's not so good. So if you can learn to maintain one of these yourself or with some help, it's going to last longer, it's going to look better, and you're going to be a lot more happy, and you're going to know that when you get someplace and you go to set up, that the things most likely are they're going to work just fine for you.